Hello, Epic Hero. I'm Hope Pennington, and I have an interesting life story. I grew up on a farm in the country, in the Bible Belt of America. I was raised extremely conservative, Christian, homeschooled, home birthed, home everything. My parents didn't give us kids birth certificates or social security numbers for religious reasons, and so I was raised to be, a stay-at-home mom, raised to have a lot of kids. I have 8 siblings. The girls wear skirts, can't cut their hair, don't get jobs, things like that. I guess I always felt different. I was always a bit of a tomboy. I always wanted to work on the farm instead of learning cooking, cleaning, and all that. But that was just what I knew. That was what I thought girls had to do. Something happened when my sister Faith turned 18. She left home, and it was a shock because I thought that girls don't do that. Girls stay in their parents' house until they get married. And she left home and started pursuing, a career and started dating and all these things that I had never been allowed to do. And here was me, age 22, knowing nothing about sex, knowing nothing about alternate sexualities or anything, and at the time being highly attracted to women, which, needless to say, was not okay in my environment. I decided that it was time for me to live my dream and live my life and stop waiting around for someone to come and save me. I spent my time at home whenever I could writing stories of adventure. It was only when I was in my 20s that I started realizing I didn't have to just escape into these fantasy worlds. I didn't have to wait for a knight in shining armor to come get me. I could go out, be my own hero, and live my own adventure. Made friends with another author online. We became more than friends. I went to go date him in Washington, even though I had no paperwork. Flying was scary. First I moved out of my parents' house just pretty suddenly with a friend who wanted to go to VidCon. I was already obsessed with YouTube culture and how it let you reach other people, something that I hadn't had a lot of before. So I went to VidCon with her. I booked my own flight. I moved to Washington to be with my writer boyfriend, and there I looked into religion and realized that it wasn't for me. Another really scary realization. Couldn't get a job, couldn't get a place to stay because of my paperwork, and so I came back to stay with my parents and finally realized who I was and decided to come out into the world as bisexual. It was rocky, but my parents and I maintained our relationship, and we were able to get even closer than before. I stayed with them as I worked at getting my social security and birth certificate, bought a car, moved out, and with my sister's Faith's help, I cut my hair, I changed my clothes, I was able to start dating, start getting a job, renting my own apartment. There were some pretty huge hiccups along the way. I've been in 3 wrecks since I got my car and all these crazy adulty things. So my aunt is letting me stay with her now. Through it all, writing has still been my greatest pleasure and my greatest escape. Even though I've only been out of my parents' house really on my own, with my paperwork, with my identity, with the freedom to be myself for about 3 months now. It's crazy. I'm working on the sequel to my first novel, which was about a boy going into a cliche adventure story, but I'm really excited for this one. This time, Fairy Tale 2 has a couple of really powerful female characters, especially one that I'm really excited for. So that's my crazy adventure of a life that is ever-changing, ever-growing. So I hope you'll come along this journey with me, and I hope that you will always remember to be a hero, because that's the most important message that I would want anyone to take away from this stuff, no matter what.